So this first module in the Java Essential Training with Java 8 Part 2 course is on exception handling, and we are going to talk a little bit about what exceptions are and how to use exceptions effectively in Java. So let's go over what we are going to cover specifically in this module. The first thing that we are going to do is talk about exceptions to kind of get a clear understanding of what an exception is, why use an exception, and what purpose it serves in the Java programming language. Then we will get into some demonstrations of using exceptions. I'm going to show you how to use a try and catch block to basically wrap some code in an exception handler and to be able to catch an exception that is thrown by that code. Then we will introduce a new concept called the finally block, and we will see how we can use this block in order to execute some code no matter what happens, whether we have an exception being thrown or the code execution without throwing an exception. Then we will talk about kind of a complicated thing as far as exceptions in Java and kind of a feature which is this idea of checked and unchecked exceptions. We will answer the question of what is the difference between the two and how should you handle each of the types of exceptions, checked and unchecked. And then finally we are going to get into some best practices. Exception handling is one of those things that is often debated pretty hotly in Java, and I'm going to give you some of the best practices that are out there. Some of the ones that I think are best, and we are even going to debate some of these and talk about some of the pros and cons and some of the different viewpoints that exist of these best practices.